I'm Ryan Shepard. I'm the owner of the TIV-2, or the Tornado Intercept Vehicle 2. It's a 14,000 pound armored vehicle that's designed to drive in front of tornadoes and become impacted by them. It has flaps and spikes. The flaps go all the way down to the ground, and that's these side skirts here and the front skirt there. First we lower the vehicle down to the ground on the airbag suspension, and then we'll lower all these flaps down to the ground, and that keeps air from getting underneath the vehicle and lofting it into a field. And then we also have these spikes that go a couple feet into the ground. They're hydraulic. We'll anchor ourselves down into the dirt so that we also don't get thrown or shoved across the ground. So we want to get all that down and get anchored before the tornado hits us. So for the armor package on this vehicle, we have like a composite armor here of different materials. So we have steel, Kevlar, aluminum, and rubber in here. Pretty exciting thing to be a part of with something that's as adventurous as this. On the windows we have 5 layers of polycarb and resistant glass. So that's to protect us from flying debris that could be upwards of 300 miles an hour in some tornadoes. If any of that were to penetrate the cabin of the vehicle, that could, really injure somebody inside. So we have armor and bullet resistant glass to protect the people inside. We also have sirens on the front of the vehicle for rural areas where they may not have additional warning. We're in a really small town that doesn't have a tornado siren out somewhere. Sometimes we'll turn that on just to warn them. A little extra warning. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the air compressors, and then once we get to where we want to be stopped and intercept the tornado, I'm going to push the air dump valves. So we push those, it'll be really loud for a second where I dump out the air. Okay. I flip on the hydraulic pump. That's activated on the engine. And I'll just start pulling these levers, and the flaps start going down. Left and right skirt first. Let it go down into the ground. And the rear spikes.
Then from that point, you just will hope to get ran over, correct?
Yeah, and of course, when we're actually intercepting a tornado, all these doors would be closed, and we actually have a latch that goes into the frame to keep these doors from opening.
Okay.
So when we're about to intercept, the first thing we're going to do is put it in park. And here's our dump valves here. We got 2 switches that'll release all the air. Just push down on those. It dumps out all the air in the airbags. It lowers it down. Then we kick on the hydraulic pump. We have a safety switch for that. And we just click that up like that. That turns it on. We just give a little bit of throttle on the engine, and then we just start pulling these hydraulic levers down. That operates the flaps and the spikes. So we just do the left and right flaps first and the front. Then we operate all the spikes down into the dirt. We got controls for our air compressors to turn those on, power switches for things. We've got about 5 different light switches for interior or fog, our takedown lights on the top, and some safety lights.
Okay.
We've got our radio stack over here. This is our intercom system, so we can communicate with each other through our headsets, as well as talk over the radio and record into our live stream or our video recording.
Okay.
Then we also have our siren controller there. It has different modes for different types of sounds. We usually choose the one that sounds like a tornado siren the most, just so we don't sound like a police car or something. But we also got our 4-wheel drive here in case we're on some nasty roads. Something really muddy, we might have to get out and turn on our hub lockers and then switch into 4-wheel drive to get out of that situation. After some of these roads, these dirt roads get rain on them. Supercells already passed through. Some of it can get even clay-like, and it's really slick. So we have to jump out, get in four-wheel drive, and then engage that to get out of it. But most of the time we're in two-wheel drive just to save on the fuel and also reduce stress on it. But it feels pretty much just like a work truck that's just a little heavier or has a load or something. It drives pretty fast. It's got a turbo diesel engine in it, so we can take off pretty quick and go 80 miles an hour, just like any other truck. I mean, it gets a little bit like driving a boat, where you kind of feel that a little bit of the swing because of all the extra weight and the size of it. But it does pretty well. The third person back here in the turret of the crew is visually looking at the storm. At this hatch, it rotates, as you can see. It rotates 360 degrees. It also has a controller to close the hatch, so when the tornado comes, we can shut that at the last second. It also has bullet-resistant glass around this turret. And that person is visually watching the storm and giving the driver and navigator instructions on where the tornado might be moving. Because you only in radar have, a scan every certain amount of time. And in between that, you don't really know where it's moving. You have to visually watch it. So this is the best place to do that and give commands to the front crew on how to adjust so that we're in that intercept position. So we have harnesses. We actually have a lap belt right here, and then we also have a chest strap here that clicks in. So this holds them in with 4 different points of contact here. We also wear bulletproof helmets, which here's one right here. We got a bunch of our stuff in our bags, but this is a Type 3 bulletproof helmet, and it keeps our heads protected from any debris that could possibly get through. So this is where our 4th crew member sits, and they're running the live stream here with our video switcher. And they're usually just trying to keep the stream running and also filming for video content. I'm the 2nd owner now. I worked with Sean Casey back in 2009, and he built this for his IMAX film. So this turret used to hold a 90-pound IMAX camera with big film reels on the side of it, so that's why it's so big, because it had a huge camera. But he was primarily a filmmaker. He loved storm chasing, but storm chasing kind of died off, so I asked him if I could buy it, because I'm a full-time storm chaser, and that's what I love to do. And he said sure, because there were people from Hollywood interested in it, but he didn't want to sell it there. He wanted to keep it doing what it was designed to do. So we haven't had that photogenic tornado come at us and hit us yet. We're still trying to get that one, but we have driven through some developing tornadoes and some weaker ones at maybe 110, 130 miles an hour. But we're still hoping for that stronger tornado that's photogenic to impact us directly.
It's just a tease for you.
Yeah, just a little warm up so far. Yeah, we've had 2 or 3 just driving through a developing tornado so far in the last few years.
How can the public support Storm of Passion and the TIV crew and what you guys do?
Well, first of all, you could just support us on social media. You can follow and share our stuff, but also on our website, stormofpassion.com, we have some gear that you can buy, some merch, and you can also donate to the restoration of the vehicle on there and just get the word out for us. We spent the last few years really focused on restoring this vehicle. It took a while. We had to work out a lot of hiccups in the vehicle, like some of the driveline issues and stuff like that. So now that we're finally ironing some of that out, we're actually going to look into more brand partnerships and also relationships with universities and government research projects and stuff like that. So we'd love to do whatever we can, like help with somebody's experiment or some PhD project where they need some instrumentation on this vehicle. Then we could be a part of that, and that would be huge to be something, contributing to science in that way. We're also looking at, adding some real estate for brand partnerships on the vehicle as well. So we'll be adding some logos and some brand partnerships with content and stuff like that in the future. Believe it or not, the actually maintenance per mile on this vehicle is higher than our fuel. So for costs anyway. And then we also have, hotels and crew and all that as well. So it all adds up, just every mile we put on the road in this vehicle, to being really expensive to operate. Okay, you're good.